Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to Lel's Little Budget. My name is Lel, and this is my budgeting channel. Or it's sort of more of it's a personal debt channel, is more what it is. I don't budget in the way that other people do, in that I don't budget from week to week because it just doesn't work like that in my household. So it's more of a holding myself accountable to pay off my debt. If you can't tell from my voice, I am currently actually really poorly, but this needs to be done. What I'm doing today is I am going through my debt repayments from last month. It is coming up to payday. Payday for me is on Monday the 28th. So I'm going through and working out what I've paid off of each of my debts in the last month. There's a couple of these that I'm not going to do because they're not in sequence, and I've got I think there's three of the 8 that I need to move. I need to look at moving my payment dates. One of them I am going to complete today still, and the reason I'm not going to do it, no, I am going to do it, is because the payment date for this one is actually Sunday the 27th, and everything else comes after that. So technically the number on the technically the closing balance number for it is higher than the opening balance number, and that's because it's paid behind all of the others, if that makes sense. So when I went through and did my original figures sort of mid-month time, the statement for this one hadn't caught up with itself, so I am just gonna have to look at moving that payment date, I think, just to make this easier for me. And it's the same with another one. My statements are a month behind for some reason on this one, so my starting balance on this one is incorrect, and I'm going to take it back to my last statement date. I think, yeah, it's a little bit confusing. It's not helped by the fact that I'm actually really poorly, but we'll see how we go. I say all the time, progress over perfection. So, yeah, so we're going to start with our Asda card. Oh, the other one, so my first debt on this actually is my AO one. I have paid another £22.50 off of this. The only reason I'm not doing this one is because I've currently locked myself out of their account, so I can't get the actual figures until I get back into the account. But I have paid another £22.50 off of it this week, so I will put that in there. My minimum payment on this has actually gone right down to £8.99 as well, but I'm still continuing to pay the £22.50 that I have been paying. So next one is Asda credit card. Our minimum payment on this, I will fill some more of these bits in. Our minimum payment on this is actually, get my cheat sheet, £27 and 7 pence. Amount paid in, I've written that in the wrong box, so I've done that on all of them. Oh well. Was £75. We had a closing balance of £1,123.12, which means we actually repaid £72.64 and paid £22.36. So total paid to date is £75. Right, our next one. We're not doing this one. Right, is our PayPal loan. The amount we paid on this one was £20. Did I write down what my actual minute? Yes, I did. So my actual minimum payment on this is £12.69. The closing balance was £324.72, which means the actual amount we paid off was £8.67, and we paid £11.33 in interest. The reason I'm doing it this way is because you can see that interest payments on some of my loans, or some of my debts, are actually higher than what I'm paying off, which is not great to see, and it is why that I'm struggling between that balance between getting a month ahead and getting debt paid off. I have mentioned before that a lot of the reason that I have the debt that I have, some of it is business related, but a lot of it is thanks to COVID. I was completely self-employed during COVID, as was my husband, and obviously when everything shut down, we had at least 6 weeks where neither of us was bringing a penny into the house. We were already a low-income family at that time as well, so it just had a knock-on effect. And now I am playing catch-up and trying to get myself into a much better financial position so that going forward, I have much more financial freedom. And again, this is the reason that I can't cash budget in the way that other people cash budget, in that I have a PAYE job and I'm also self-employed. My self-employed income is negligible at this point. It's essentially a side hustle, whereas it used to be my full-time job. And my PAYE job, because it is in hospitality, my hours are variable, so therefore my income is variable, and it's really hard to track. At the moment, I'm concentrating on getting my debt paid off. It's my personal debt journey, not my family's income. So that's where we're at. Right, PayPal again, the amount we paid was £20. This is my second one. This is a personal one. The first one is a business one. Monthly minimum payment on this is actually £10.38. Closing balance was £261.60, which meant the actual amount we repaid was £9.74, which meant that we paid £10.26 in interest. So again, I've paid more interest than I've actually paid off. But these aren't a priority right now. I'm still paying more than my minimums every month, but they're not my priority debt. Okay, right, so postcard, I'm just going to pop it into February. This is the one that I said the statements are really behind on this one, and I'm not quite sure why, whether it's because I need to move the payment date on this one or not. But the original balance was £1974.11. Right, my minimum payment on this one is currently £77. This is, I had this listed as my top priority debt. I think actually this is going to be priority 2 debt. I've got a second one that's got a higher interest rate, although it's got a smaller balance. And I'm actually going to throw everything that I can at that one, so everything that I've got spare at that first. I think we paid extra off of this month as well, so the amount paid is actually £117.32. I haven't got anything to hand that wipes off on this, which is why I'm just leaving it like that. £1,864. Bear with me because I've got a child shouting at me. Okay, that's a child happy again. We home educate here, so sometimes, despite the fact that I've told the kids that I'm trying to just film for 20 minutes, they want to show me some of the things that they've been doing. Right, so the actual repaid on this, 106, 137. I haven't actually worked out yet. Okay, bear with me, I'll be back because I'll have to stop recording so that I can use the calculator because I don't have a separate calculator. I will be back in a minute, not that you'll know, but... Okay, I am back, and having just worked the numbers out, something isn't making sense with this. So I'm not going to continue filling this in, and I apologise if there is background noise. I live opposite a school and it is now lunchtime. I am going to come back to this because I'm going to ring them because something isn't making sense, and I think it might possibly be because of when my statement date is compared to when I'm doing these. My last statement I had from these was March the 26th, and we're now at April the 25th. So a new one is due. So I'm going to come back to that. I'll probably rub this off and start again once I've actually spoken to them on the phone. So the next one, this is the one that I said earlier that this is actually due on the 27th, which is Sunday. So this is the one that currently looks like I haven't paid anything off it, even though I did pay last month's payment. My minimum actual payment on this is £46 and 2 pence. So I paid 55 last month, but my closing balance on this according to my numbers, so I'm just going to do this and leave it at that, and again I will change the statement date. £1426 and 45, which means my interest on this card was £37 and 94, and then we're gonna come off of that one and again ring and speak to them. So this is the last one. This was my priority 2 debt, but actually I'm changing this to priority 1. This is my Zabel card, and this has a horrendous interest rate on it that I think is somewhere in the high 30s. I cannot remember off the top of my head, and because I film on my phone I can't check it while I'm filming. Right, so my opening balance in March was £475 and 3 pence. Now this month I paid off £77, but my closing balance on this is £437 and 9 pence, which means that I actually only paid off of that £77 £37 and 94 pence, which is ridiculous. So yeah, this is becoming my priority 1 debt, and then Pulse will be priority 2. Now I get paid on Monday. I will pay off my minimums of all of these, and then my goal this month for the next pay cycle is to pay off an extra 75 on this one, and to get an extra £50 in my month ahead. I'm trying to balance the two, but like I keep saying, I'm really torn between which is more important, getting the month ahead or getting my debts down. Every time I top my month ahead up, I've had to spend out of it, and that tells me that actually month ahead should probably be more important, but I need that dopamine I just need that dopamine win of getting this down. My goal is to have paid this one off by the end of this year. So I think I'm just going to have to keep throwing everything I can at this and combining this with month ahead. And we will see where we add up. I'm going to try and start adding some new side hustles alongside this as well, so that I've got more money to throw at these two, as well as being able to live. And obviously we are also a family who travels. So I'm also trying to get money into that as well. We go away in the middle of June this year. I'm just about to film a video for that, adding some more into that. It's just another £20 to go into there. But we will see how we get on. That is it for this video for today. Thank you for taking the time to watch if you've got all the way to the end. If you could take 2 seconds to subscribe for me as well. My goal was to try and get to 50 subscribers at the end of March. We've surpassed that, and we only got to, as in we've surpassed the end of March. We're now almost at the end of April and we're still only at 36. So I'd really love to get to the that first round 50 if we can. So if you could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate that. And if you could take 2 seconds to just leave a comment or an emoji in the comments box as well, then I would also really appreciate that. That is all for me for now, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.